Put music on real quick. Okay. 1300 WIMG music for the soul. I'm Beanie, and to have me on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock, a Wednesday. Today I've been screwing up the day all day, right? I yelled at a client because he came and he had the nerve to be fussing. And I'm like, well, why are you fussing? Today's not your day anyway. He's like, it's Wednesday. I was like, I did lunch. I was talking to somebody else, and he was down there 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I was like, I'm sorry. I was terrible. So for me to, I've been messing the day up. So we're gonna redo this. 1300 WIMG music for the soul. I am Beanie, and I'm here on a Wednesday. Renee's trying to tell me real gentle on a Wednesday because I just have such a special person. If you heard me talk about this dance community, I can't say if anybody on the radio has heard me talk about this dance community, has heard me talk about community academy dance. It's mm-mm. I you are literally a school. You are literally a school. Yeah. You're inside of the Y, but you're literally a school. Right? So right. Community Dance Academy, you're just your name. It really is. And Renee, I can't tell you how much I love the essence of who you are, what you brought to the community, even before you decided to do a competition team. I've said it on the air a lot, but I better say this. I'm also recording for WPHY. So those that are watching on WPHY, you're going to hear about some events that just passed, but you're also going to hear about events coming up. Okay, so WPHY, yes. By the time you see this, Saturday event will be over, but there's so much more coming up. Okay. But Renee, before my grands were even grands, I was supporting. All right. Before you guys, they got even old enough to think about dancing. I just thought that what you do at the Y with the Community Dance Academy is phenomenal. And I remember my very first recital, my favorite part were the seniors. My favorite part was the seniors just getting down and shaking it and knowing the choreography and killing it. And I sat there and like, I'm tearing up. The person next to me said, oh, do you have your mom up there or your grandma? And I'm like, no, I don't. Hear it and everything. So once my grands got old enough, I started snotting. I'm like, tell my baby.
And now one of your babies is even on a competition team.
Oh my goodness.
Now I can't wait for the little one, but she needs to come on too.
Yeah, yeah. She was like, I'm thinking about it. Something to make your heart proud. Saturday, Christina's telling me, Mama, like, I don't know. I think I want to be in a freestyle too. And so when her friends say you're gonna practice, she said, well, how you gonna practice that? So she said, Mom, how do I practice that? And I was like, you'll figure it out. Because I'm learning to not always dictate. Because if it's something you want, you're gonna figure it out. Right. So 20 minutes later, not even, probably about 10, she comes to me and she says, I figured it out. Here, because she gave me my son's remote and put the TV on YouTube. Never mind what I was watching. Okay. And said, I want you to randomly pick songs. White songs, black songs, hip hop, R&B, country. I want you to randomly pick songs. And then I have to dance. She said, now, 30 seconds is all I get. I don't know if she get a little more, but she said 30. I ended up giving her 50 on each one of them. But I was. And what warmed my heart the most was she was able to take criticism, not criticism, constructive criticism. Yeah.
Yes.
And take it, not get mad, but implement it. And I said, man, before Renee got to her, she wouldn't have been able to do that. She wouldn't have been able to do that. And a lot of children in this generation can't take it. But before you got to her, she wouldn't have been able to do that. It's one of the reasons why I love my coaches so much for my sons, because they help with structuring, taking the criticism, being yelled at and not taking it personal, because I'm working for your better.
They should know it. They should know it. And thank you for sharing that, because when we started, getting ready for this particular competition, which is this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, plug for the competition at Notre Dame High School. One of the reasons we like this particular competition, it's called High Demand, is because they do have an improv category. Last year, we won first place in the improv category. So what we started to do was let everybody improv. And then we asked the question, B, do you want to do improv the day of the competition? Do you want to do it? And then some folks started to sit down because they didn't want to do it. And that didn't sit right in any of our spirits, none of them. Because if you are serious about this craft, then you need to push yourself to do something. How can you prepare for improv in that you don't know what the song is going to be? You don't know what genre you're going to have to do. You don't know if it's going to be country or if it's going to be musical theater. You don't know. But what I'm asking them to do is do their best, because that's all we've always taught them, is to do your best. And the love that my staff and I give to those babies,
y'all do.
If that's not enough, I don't know what could possibly be enough.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because we are God-centered, I think that it really helps. And can I share something that's pretty? Can I share something that's pretty deep? Is that when we were struggling a little bit to make sure that we were going to be the best we can possibly be in this competition, our team captain, Ramaj Sapp, said, maybe we need to pray a little bit more. Ooh.
Maybe we need to pray a little
bit more, because there were some practices, being totally transparent, that they were excused without prayer. And that didn't used to happen. So, I'll take that on from being caught up in, all the hours that we're putting in and all of that, but there really shouldn't be an excuse. And yes, that young man did. That's what he said. Tell you what he said. That's what he said.
I love that. And you want to hear something else that I've watched my granddaughter do since I've told her why don't you try doing this? I said, why don't you, instead of looking at so many TikTok,
Amen.
I thought I heard music. So while you're answering, I'm gonna go check. But instead of looking at that, look at some dancers,
Correct.
right? And I told her, I said, one of my favorite dancers is Chris Brown. She was like, Chris Brown. I said, no, for real, real. He's one of my favorites. And she was like, come on. I was like, all right. So I put Sensational on.
Okay.
And I said, look at it. I saw her get excited because she turned around and said, I didn't know he was trained. And I said, you tell me how you know he's trained.
Okay. Now,
She started naming the positions. She started naming the positions. She paid attention to his foot being pointed. She paid attention to his turn and said, that's a hip hop term, but with ballet technique. Paying attention.
Paying attention. Paying attention. I tell you, Beanie, I'm so proud of our young people because that's one of the things that we really instill in them. Yes, we want you to be fantastic. Yes, we want you to go out there and put that expression on and embody dance. But if this is something that you really want to do with your life, farther in life, do you want to go to a arts academy? Do you want to go further with this? Then you have to understand what dance is and what technique is. And what we also instill, especially for the competition team, for those that don't know, they have to take all the genres that we teach.
Mhm.
So yes, some excel more from lyrical, some excel more in hip hop, but you have to be a well-rounded dancer. So that when you go into competition and you stand up there in front of people who don't look like us, and they ask you to do something, how it's going to come is they're going to say, okay, do this particular move, come out of fourth position, do a jeté into a, a battement, however it's going to be. And if you don't understand that, you may be a really talented dancer, but you just lost the audition.
You just lost the
audition. So we're big on that. And what I like to do with our older children, especially Miss Chanel, in TAP, Chanel Vaught, shout out to you, Miss Chanel, who is choreographer extraordinaire, my assistant director, my up to my down, my left to my right.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
She's amazing.
She really
She's
is.
amazing inside and out. I just love her to life. She'll do her level 4. We have 4 levels in the school, and she'll sit down and say, in the tap class, we're going to start with, for instance, 16 run flaps, 8 flap ball changes into, or Christopher Walken into a triple time step and all of that from a chair. 5, 6, 7, 8, make it happen. So if you understand, right? And part of learning and doing is understanding. Knowledge is king. So yeah. And so that's what we're doing more and more of with our young people is instilling that in them. I'm so beyond proud. And if I could go back and just say to those who don't know the Community Dance Academy, the reason why we're so infatuated with our name being community is we started at the age of 3. 2 of my seniors this year that will be on stage are 83. They'll be 84 before the recital, 2 of them. And this year, Vini, you think you cried before? There are going to be 20. Yes, y'all.
No, 20. Oh my God. All right. I'm not doing this for you, Renee. I'm not crying.
But this is what we always do. This is what we do. 20.
Renee.
To God be the glory. 20. And to hear the stories, Vita, you talk about crying, so here I go. To hear the stories. Because we always pray. We never leave without praying for each other, praying for our families, the things that are going on in our lives. to hear the stories when you get to hear somebody who is in their 70s say, thank you for making a childhood dream come true, because I always wanted to tap. And then somebody will say, I did too, but my family couldn't afford it. And
Mhm. Mhm.
they bring so much joy
Mhm.
to me, Beanie, and so supportive and uplifting, that on some of my worst days, it's literally when I go in, I leave different
Yeah.
than I did when I got there. It's just,
And the anointing of your prayer, which I'm really feeling, doesn't go with just your children. See, that prayer is in that building. So now that preschool is protected. Now that after school program is protected. And your dancers are protected. That's what being in an anointed place like that is such a beautiful thing. And let me tell you, first of all, Christina's also going to, no, Cameron is going to make your tap, because they sat there and watched Stevion Glover with me. I let them know who my favorite is. I really want to find the movie Tap so that they could see it and at the level, because you're already teaching them to tap like tap. You're already teaching them Gregory Hines technique. You know what I mean?
I do.
Stevion Glover starting at 3. Cameron starting at 3.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Christina now.
Come on, way.
A whole long way. And do you want to know why? You challenged her to not be lazy. You said, I'm not showing favorites. You want this spot, you will earn this spot. You went away, and that girl, Christy Cameron, said, if you don't practice, you won't make the team. So practice at home, because she thinks she everybody mom at home. She might be quiet in that dance room, but everybody mama at home, even her parents. she is, I promise you, she's my grandmother and her mom's mom wrapped into one person.
Adorable.
But
She's adorable.
you instilled that. So now I'm not talking to you from what I see and my love for you for what I see. I'm now talking to you for what I witnessed in my own. And they had a choice. But I said to them, I think you'll do better with this one. And then Bree was like, I'm here. And Ebony said, if Bree is telling us, Mom is telling us, that's where we're going to go. From practice number 1, she said they will be here until they graduate.
And they've been ever so faithful. I appreciate you for that. I do. And we believe, the tagline that we use for all the information that we sent out, the letters and the information we sent to our parents is dance is life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not expecting everybody to necessarily embrace that for, after they leave the CDA, but the disciplines and the things that you are taught through dance really will impact your life.
Yeah.
In such a positive way.
Yeah.
And what we also want them to understand is, meaning, man, and when I was coming up, every time when we were young, like they're young, oh God, we always went through stuff. And oh my God, and our parents were tough and we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. And then, generation after generation, I believe that it's a little harder for these young people right now. Just what I believe.
I do too.
And I tell them all the time that I wouldn't want to be coming up right now. I wouldn't. And I love them all dearly. And we're there to support them. for whatever their needs are, but I think it's a little harder. So dance is one of the opportunities that you get to, again, come in a space, and when you leave it different from when you came in.
Yes.
Get it off. Leave it on the dance floor. It sounds really trite, right? Because that's what people say, oh, leave it on the dance floor. Dance like nobody's watching. No, I want you to dance like everybody's watching.
Amen.
Everybody. Every
Amen.
time you hit that floor, dance like everybody's watching. And then they look at you different when you come off the dance floor, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we really, hope to install in our children, and just to do your best. With competition, yeah, I scream and holler at the absolute purity fool. But as long as I know they did their best, now I would pick them all to be first place high score overall, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the judge. So if the judge doesn't see it that way, but I know that you did your absolute best and left it all on the dance floor, that's all I'm asking.
One of the things about Community Dance Academy, right, at the Y, is there are majority Black. I think there's a couple of Hispanics, right?
We're an all, well, right. So, yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's it.
Yes.
In a nutshell, from 3 to 83.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but
You're not.
our competition team, 18 strong right now, 17 strong. All brown squad.
Yes.
It's all brown.
All brown.
And the God that we serve, we have come across no all brown squads. Sprinkling of us here and there, and have been able to come away with first place high score overall, win first place in nationals. This is only our third year, and God will answer. He answers prayers. He knows your heart. He gets it. That I am so blessed that before I can't, that this school was able to be formed. And not just the school, because the school was based at Calvary Missionary Baptist Church first, right?
Yes, it was.
So we kept, the faith into the practices that we were teaching, but to hear children during the pandemic, Beanie, say, Miss Renee, we don't want to stop dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's make this thing happen. And that's basically how it was birthed. And now it's a competition team. Just finished our first competition in the new season of our third year, and have hundreds of trophies for anybody who hasn't seen it. This is a shout out to the Community Dance Academy, Capital Area YMCA, 431 Pennington Avenue. Do yourselves a favor. Don't let anybody tell you nothing good comes out of Trenton. Come by and see. Just come into the lobby and see what these babies have done and are doing. It is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. And I thank you for this opportunity, because there's so many people that don't know. And it's not fair, not just to the Y, but to those children that are working this hard for it not to be seen. And I'm going to say it. I reached out to NJ.com through a friend recently to talk about our team captain who got a full ride.
Don't do it to me.
To, a dramatic academy and theater in California, a full ride. A young man who choreographed his own piece, went to New York, and they fell in love with him. That's not worthy of a story, Beanie.
It's worthy.
Is that not worthy?
It's so worthy. It's so worthy. Actually, I do want to interview him, but after the competition. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want him to be distracted. So after the competition season, you know what else I love? I love to hear the younger children call him Mr. They don't call him by his first name.
That's part of the etiquette of the YMCA, the Capital Area YMCA. It's Miss or it's Mr., no matter the age,
I love it.
no matter the age. So in a work environment, he is Mr. Ramaj to me as well. That's the etiquette of the YMCA. Yes.
Love it. Cause I called him by his first name. Cammy corrected me. I told you she our mom.
Does everybody know how old Cammy is doing this? Does everybody know?
Y'all, she only 6.
Okay.
This girl is on, but they know Cam because they have witnessed them. So
True.
they,
True.
but she's really only 6.
Really? Only six?
The girl don't turn 7 until the summertime. We still got a long way to go. And she corrected me. And I was like, but and okay.
Okay.
I couldn't say nothing else. I want to go back to your first competition this year.
Mm.
And before I do that, I'm gonna invite you also to go see. I told Jacques Howard, because he had asked me, I said, no, I gotta interview Renee. And he was like, I'm supposed to get in touch with her. I said, well, you won't be doing it tomorrow because I'm interviewing her. And I said, but I'll tell you what you can do. Go by the why. I want you to look at what they have out, but there's so much that they don't. This is only 3 years of competition.
Correct.
Also know that this is income tax season. And I'm going to say to everybody that's watching, everyone that's listening, she don't know I'm doing this, but I am. Go by the why. Take a couple of your dollars and bless these children. Help us help them not have to worry about nationals because nationals will already be paid. So I'm asking you to go by the Y, Pennington Avenue. The people at the front desk already know. And if you say, I want to donate this to the Community Dance Academy or CDA, they will make sure they get the money. Did you not hear her say how many seniors will be there? That's at the recital, right? The competition team. This is why I'm asking you, make a donation. I'm asking you to use some of your income tax money to help someone else with these young, gifted children who don't start off gifted. Let me be real. Some have 2 left feet and they end up dancing. I'm just saying, I've witnessed it.
Jesus.
Some couldn't move with a rhythm if you attach the rhythm to them. But by the end of the season, they know how to move. So I'm asking you, she didn't, and I'm going to ask again a little bit later, go by the why and bless this Community Dance Academy, which we call CDA. And that's what I'm telling you, you will feel good. So let me, because she's not going to brag like I'm about to. Baby, from the first dance that we entered in to the last, when they said they brought all of their A game, the only brown there, I brought Jocelyn Johnson, which is the world not going to tell her I said that's my heart. They better keep that secret because I tell her she not, right? But she is like prayer warrior, best friend extraordinaire, period. A strong confidant, like all of that. So I took her and she came with me and said, Dini, I think y'all gonna be in trouble. And I was like, why? She said, I don't see no other brown children as a whole squad. And she said, and none of those judges represent y'all. Us. That's what she said. So there's a lady that was behind us. She said, I was thinking the same thing. She's a white lady. I was like, these kids gonna have to come out and kill it. Because they're not gonna represent. Like, they're not gonna do this. Our first thing, she tapped me on the shoulder. Do you see that? I say, yeah, so we cheering. And then a group out in the hallway was like, oh, damn, we ain't got to worry about our thing. The only competition, and didn't mention us. Didn't mention us at all. And it was for motions. Was that the dance?
Sounds right.
And didn't mention us. We're not even a part of their category. Honey, I said, I think you might want to get back in there. And she was like, I said, because our category is coming up. So I think you might want to go watch so that you can see your competition. I said, baby, because I was going to the bathroom. Sat in my seat. Didn't know that these set women were 3 rows in front of me, not behind me. And the lady who said she was afraid for us, that dance happened. And she said, oh, honey, I'm not afraid. She said, I'm not afraid for y'all. She said, I'm not afraid. My joy came when those women in front of me had to clap.
Well, you will.
Had to clap. That's when my joy came. And then I watched all the dances. Fix me, still makes me cry. I done seen it, and every time I get the chills that I receive from watching that piece is absolutely amazing. And my other dance, and I've told you from the beginning, that is my favorite, is Annie.
Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock Life. One of my favorites. I was more excited she made it in that than she was.
She did.
She did. And I told her,
me down.
your tap got to be superb to make it to that. Because she said she was going to try it. I said, not if you're not ready. Listen, you're not messing up my dance. Like, you can't, because that's one of my favorites. So don't, if you ain't ready, don't do it. Not to me, because I'm gonna have to talk about you. And she was like, Mama. I was like, okay, but I'm serious. Hey, joking, not joking. If you're not ready, don't step in that dance.
So proud.
And when she did, and she made it, I'm screaming, and they looking at me. I'm like, you're
And she did well.
very well.
She did well.
She did.
I remember when she asked me, Miss Renee, did I make the audition for Hard Knock Life? And the first time I told her no. And she didn't stop. And every time they practiced, she kept going and she kept going. And I said, all right, let's try one more time with those of you who didn't make it. And she made it. That's true.
But you told her no.
I told her no.
So Renee, we sitting there for the awards. Y'all, I have butterflies and chills already thinking about it. I want to cry. I came to work and I cried on the air because I tried to explain it and I still couldn't. all of these academies up there. And I hear. Heart Not Right. Motion, number 2. I think that other dance was she. No, motions was 1.
I think so,
Yeah.
but
And
I'm gonna let you go ahead then also.
yeah, they placed 1 and 2. And I'm like, and then number 1 again.
That's right,
And then number 1 again.
that's right.
And then somebody named Renee receives a special award
Showmanship.
because they do show. Their demeanor will make you watch them. That's why that woman said, I'm not worried anymore. And then we get up to the older ones. I hear, number 1, fix me, Jesus. And I'm sitting here. And I'm still getting these chills right now. Like I'm ready to cry. Special awards come up. And I keep hearing CDA. And I'm like, what? Then only the 2 big trophies left. Said, number 1 for this group. They played that music. Renee, ice cream, so loud. And then the next big trophy, they said number 1 is, and they did the flag, and they played that music again. I still can't tell that without crying. It was the most beautiful thing to witness, especially after hearing those women talk about who their competition was. And our name wasn't in it. And I knew, even if we didn't make number 1, I knew in my heart that those people were going to look at them and see just what you got your award for, showmanship. I knew that when those women saw the quality of our girls, and one guy,
Yeah,
that they would have to say, oops, I underestimated. So Maggie, who is, her daughter's been in dance forever. And the academy that she goes to is down there where they live at in New Egypt. Gabby's been dancing all kinds of competitions, all kinds of things, right? And she watched a couple of our dances from the thing.
from the live stream.
Yeah. And she said, Veen, yeah. And I was like, right? Right? She said, that was special to watch.
Amen.
And that's how I feel every time I make a competition. That is special to watch. Now, there were other, dances that were phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Very much so. I still think that fire dance shouldn't have been 3rd because we were 1st. I don't think they should have been. That's just me. But I think they should have been 2nd because they were phenomenal. But there were a lot of great dancers there. It's not as if they just gave it to us.
Correct.
That was a lot of great competition.
And Beanie, because you've been there, I can honestly say that about all the competitions.
Yes.
All the competitions. And this particular one in January, we knew none of the groups.
None of them.
So when we were in nationals and some of the other things that we've done over the last 2 years, when we got there, we could look and say, oh, that's such and such a group. Remember them. And then we would say, oh man, I remember that piece.
Mhm.
Or, so we didn't know any of these groups and they didn't know us.
They didn't.
And we did exactly what we were supposed to do. Those children went in there, those young people, and did exactly what they were supposed to do. And a shout out to the staff.
Yes.
Because Miss Chanel, I already named Miss Camille, choreographer extraordinaire.
We know our Miss Camille.
Miss Shayna, Miss
Yes.
Sarah, Mr. Anthony,
Yes.
and Mr. Ramaj.
Yes.
Because
he teaches.
Yes,
he does.
And he choreographs.
Mhm.
And he's been doing amazingly well and receiving awards, and some of the young staff as well for their solos. They've created their own. We just try to tweak it and let them have their own creative juice and do what they need to do. And then my administrative staff, Miss Vicky, and that pit bull at the front, Miss Janine, honey.
Let me tell you, Miss Janine don't play. I love her.
She don't play. And every organization, no matter whether it's a dance school, a Y, whatever it is, every organization needs a Miss Janine.
Yes.
You gotta have her. She's about her business and she loves the community and she loves the children and she's a dance mom.
Yes.
Also, but yeah, Vini, it was overwhelming for me. I was really nervous and I don't know what happened, and they say here we go, it's trite again that, when the devil peeps into your future. I was a wreck going to this competition. That morning, I was a wreck. And Miss Vicky grabbed my hand and she said, come on, we're going to pray. Honest to God, this is a true story. And she prayed. I did the Vini. And she prayed and got myself together. And then for that award ceremony, when there was only 2 high score overall first place, only 2.
Ooh.
And we got them both. And let's call a thing a thing. There was only 3 award ceremonies where there was only 2 big trophies, high score, first place overall. So only 3 ceremonies. Okay, do the math. Only 6 trophies.
Mhm.
And the Brown squad got 2 in 1.
Yes.
One thing. You saw,
Yes.
we ran to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. When that music played, I said, oh my God, that's not very good showmanship. At this point, I went crazy.
Yeah.
We swept them.
Yeah.
Who does that? CDA does that.
Amen.
That's what we do. And that's what we're here to do. And I'm really excited. Our next competition, again, this upcoming weekend, you will be able to, High Demand is the name of the group. You all out there and listening and viewing land, it's called High Demand Dance Competition. Go on their website and they will have the live stream information. And we are dancing Friday night, pretty much all day Saturday, as well as Sunday. You can also tomorrow go on the website of the YMCA Capital, ymca.org, and be able to find the schedule.
Okay.
And so we were handing out the schedule this week, and a couple of the members said, oh, Miss Renee, can you highlight the pieces that are yours? I said, they're all ours. And they're like, that's why you act like you do sometimes. Yeah. All of that, plus the school, plus the events, Capital Area Y does some great things, but they're all ours. And so I'm looking forward to last competition. We took 20 performances in 20 pieces and came home with 38 trophies.
Yeah.
That's not including the flags.
Not including the flags.
Not including the flags.
Those flags gave me chills.
When they dropped, no,
Renee!
when she dropped that flag, and they played that music, that was it. I was done.
Renee.
BTS
Renee, when they drop those flags, I'm telling you guys, if you want to donate to a worthy, beautiful, well-deserving cause, donate to CDA. Go over to the Y. Trust me, you will be very pleased. And we inviting you in June to the recital
Absolutely.
in June.
June 22nd.
And then I'm inviting you that the minute she tells you registration is open, register. Stop worrying about your age. Don't worry about that. Register. Get your children involved. And this is what I also want to see, more young men.
Absolutely.
I use Chris Brown as a real example. He didn't learn those techniques out of the sky. There are some people who can hip hop dance, but this man has been #1 on the Hot 100 charts for 20 years in a row. Not because he sings well, but because he's an all-around performer. And when you look at his techniques, if you don't know, you're going to say, wait a minute. But when Christina paid attention,
and she saw it, it's important that they see it. And thank you for pointing that out to her. You know, and it's also that we as a community, meaning, yes, you know, grandmother extraordinaire, but we as a community have to embrace when our children are doing positive things.
amen.
We have to embrace it all around. We have to be able to give, not just of our time. We have to do it philanthropically. You have to, if you have, you know, and you reap what you sow.
Amen.
So I'm only asking for a seed. Just plant a seed.
Just plant a seed.
Plant a seed. And you can do it on capitalymca.org's website under donate, and it gives you the opportunity. My mom raised me in dance school, and she sacrificed a lot.
Mhm.
And here we go, right? Crying again. So when my mother passed away, I started foundation, if you want to call it that, and it's called Dancing is the Voice of the Soul. And it's a page where you can donate, and it's on the Capital Area YMCA page. So, and it will, as you say, it will go to that specific program. And, you know, it's not all about dance at the Y. As you said, there's so many amazing programs, the after-school program, the preschool program, Kappas, the Kappas are there today doing a robotics, building remote cars and drones with the
You
kids
see that thing?
today. We starting Girl Scouts again. We have fitness. We do senior fitness. We have a wellness center. There's so many things. We have a food access program that I don't want to misquote the numbers, but we feed hundreds
Mhm.
of children every day. During the pandemic, we fed people every day.
Yeah.
Out in the public. We went out
Yeah.
where people were able to come, you know, to us to be fed. So the Capital Area YMCA is doing amazing things. I'm sure I'd be remiss if I don't mention our CEO, which is Miss Louise McCants, and our new COO, which is Mr. Eric Bullock. The leadership
Really?
team is yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, just I want to say, I think I heard him say the other day, it's been 6 months, time flies. So I mean, I guess he would know better than I, but he hasn't been there a year yet. And he's really hopeful to do some amazing programming and to help us do some things that we've been wanting to do. So, you know, wherever you want your heart lies, you can give. Doesn't have to be, you know, dance. Although my children need help. It's thousands of dollars every 2 months for them to get to competition, and nationals is even more. And that's, you know, the nitty gritty of it, y'all. And what I think some people don't understand, Beanie, just because we're in a YMCA We are not recreational. We're not.
You're not.
We
Not
start in
hardly.
September, we have a recital in June, we do competitions, we do picture day, we do costumes, we do everything these for-profit schools do,
Mhm.
except charge the same fees.
You was getting ready to go up my alley, except charge the same fee.
Except charge the same
You
fee.
make this affordable.
Absolutely.
You make it affordable, and that's what's amazing to me. This is why I fell in love with the dance academy from the beginning, was because you made it affordable and fun, but at the same time instructional.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You give foundational, all kinds of foundational techniques. You made me learn dance. Between you and Gabby, I was like, what is this? And I learned it because y'all made it so interesting. It truly is a sport.
It is.
And
Dancers
you
are
have
athletes.
to, I was gonna say, you have to train for this.
Correct.
This is not something that you don't. And I want people to stop thinking when you see somebody on TikTok, that is real dancing, that is stiff. I don't know what I'm doing with myself dancing. Now you have the Splash Twins who are from Trenton, but they were also trained.
Say that.
They were also trained. They're not doing those robot moves that you be seeing.
Right.
They were also trained.
And I haven't seen them, so I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah.
Flash?
The Splash Twins.
I will definitely look them up. I'm sure as soon as I go back to the school, somebody will say, "Oh, Miss Renee, you didn't know." No, I didn't. Show them to me.
Yeah,
Okay. And so
exactly.
that's
And they're
go
right
ahead.
here from Trenton, and they're known
Nice.
because they dance. There's several dance people I follow now,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
There's several twins that's doing amazing things, but the Splash Twins are from here.
Okay.
So, but you give instructional dance
Yes, ma'am.
for not as much money. And I don't want anybody to say, well, that's a lot of money. I can't afford. You even break it down in payments,
Correct.
which is why your front desk is so important. Because she looked at me and said, I said, go to his daddy. Go to her dad. And the year I was paying for Christina, she was like, no, I'm coming to the right person. I was like, oh. And then I make my payment.
Right. And the thing too, about the YMCA is the mission of the YMCA. And one of the things is that we do not turn away anybody for their inability to pay. You can be scholarships, and there's a multitude of things that happen through the year. And the two largest fundraiser slash fun slash friend raisers are the golf outing, which I believe is June 10th, and it's this year at Yasna Polana. And so the money that's raised from that goes to help people become a member of the Y. So you can go to the after school program if you can't pay, or be scholarshiped into dance or whatever it is, martial arts, whatever the program is. And then the other one is our 5K, which is I think October 5th or something like that, the first Saturday in October. And that happens at TCNJ. And the children, the dance academy competition team performs out there. Were you there for Thriller this year? Yeah, y'all, we do Thriller in a way that you've never seen Thriller done before. I have to say, kudos to Miss Camille. Great choreography, and
I
the
watched
children
that
love
baby
it.
grow.
It's just, yeah,
I watched her.
yeah. She was dancing
Yes.
in the academy,
Yes.
and then became a teacher. And now she's one of the competitions. She came away with best choreography, gave her gear, sweatshirt, everything, dawning how, how special her piece was. I think that happened in our second competition ever Yeah, so things like that. So we do things so that we can make sure that things like this are affordable to our community. That's what we're supposed to do, right? As a
Yes.
community organization. right?
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Martial arts. And I watched them kids. One of the little boys had moved up, right? And he came outside because I was waiting. He didn't laugh. I was dropping Chris off. He came outside and he said, "Yeah, mess with me. I'm green. I'm green." And I
Hey, a guy has green belt. Oh, that's precious. See, that's the other thing. This program happens inside of the YMCA, but we're doing real stuff. You don't stay a white belt. Like they actually, kudos to Sensei Ivan. You test and you move up.
move up.
You
That baby was so excited. And his mom was like, "Yay!" But what made me feel even better, I got a soft part for dads, right?
Yeah.
So when his mom was screaming, "Yay!" Dad jumped out the car and it's like, "No!" And he's being loud and dramatic for his son.
oh
His son, and he picked him up. He was like, "Bud," and he smacking five with him, and they're out there celebrating. He didn't care who was watching. And before he know it, all of us over there clapping. Because he came out. "Mess with me, I'm green. I'm green."
That's fantastic.
And then to watch the parents' reaction. But as a community, we supported him.
And that's what we should do. And then, kudos to Kevin.
My son?
Yeah. He's a dance dad.
Oh, he is.
He's a dance dad.
He really is.
I'm sorry, Ebony, I'm not talking about you, but he's a dance dad.
He really
And
is.
he takes the time to say, "Miss Renee, is it this? Is it that? Should I do this?" You think even about the improv.
Mhm.
He came to me and said, real talk, I don't want to waste my money. Do you think that Christine is ready? I said, I'll let you know, because initially she didn't start off doing it,
Mhm.
but I'll let you know, Kevin, she's ready. So she can do it, but he's there. He gets the information. He comes early, brings Cam, comes back, gets Christina. He's a dance dad.
He
He's
loves
a boo.
it.
We have a couple of them that
Yeah.
are really awesome dance dads, and one we call him Pop Pop, and I couldn't tell you what his real name is. We call him Pop Pop, and Pop Pop is a dance grandfather.
Yeah.
And this young man's got 5 kids, I think. Maybe he brings to the after school program. He goes one way, picks up one, drops another off, drops somebody else to get the bags, brings the kids to competition. He's at every competition, sticks and stays. Amazing. So, shout out to the dads. I know you guys get a bad rap sometimes, but there's some pretty awesome dads that are over there taking care.
Yeah, one day Ebony was like, "They go to you for all the information," right? She said, "I think I need to be more visible, but I want my t-shirt." Kevin had ordered one in this year. She got one.
And she just, sorry, I'm telling your business. And she just ordered a CDA,
Mhm.
straight out of CDA jacket. Says Christina's mom on it.
Cause she said, "Oh, I'm going to outshow you." My whole family is competitive. It's ridiculous. But I love it because you know why? That made her. She's never done anything competitive growing up. She doesn't know what it's like to be on a team. Right? Her mom never went through all of that. So she's learning. So the more she learns, the more excited she gets.
Yeah.
The more she realizes. See, Kevin grew up in that, but she didn't.
Because he's Johnny on the spot.
He grew up in it.
Johnny on the
They've
spot.
always been in stuff.
And tell Ebony, and I'm just shout out to my staff who is omnipresent. And the moms and the dads, or whatever, that are at every competition. See, we need that. Because baby, dance moms.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I finally now I do understand the show, Dance Mom and Grandmoms. I finally understand it
right?
now.
And I was the consummate, but for the child, it's not fair. And my staff would be like, girl, you better get it together. Oh, because honey, let me tell you something. A parent can keep a child from dancing for me instantly now.
Mhm.
We're doing the best we can for your baby. Don't come like that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I didn't get it. When I was watching Dance Moms, I was like, that's so unfair that she's not going to let that child dance because of the parents'
You got it.
attitude or what. Okay.
And then it's like, ding,
And finally,
that light bulb got real bright.
Hey, this is crazy. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So a big shout out to the parents that are parenting. I want to shout out all parents that are parenting. Because it took nothing for that couple, I don't care if they were together or not, to get out and celebrate to the fullest with their baby making the green belt. They made it clear. You work for this. And they were so excited. That is parents that are parenting. So yes, I'm gonna say it. Donate again. All right, we're gonna wrap it up in a few.
Yes.
I could talk to you all day.
I know, and I'm going back to the
why.
Yeah.
But this Saturday is a competition.
Yes, ma'am.
And they can go on again and view it where?
At High Demand is the site that they want to go to. High Demand Dance Competition. And they will be taken right to that link. There will be a link to take them to the live stream. The live stream, however, does not have the times that our children that will be performing, but they will be able to find that on the Capital Area YMCA page. We'll have it listed there, and everything that you see, all the times are, yes, CDA children that will be performing this weekend.
I love it. Now, another thing that is a highlight that I always invite, and that people can come to see it if they want to see it live.
Yes, it's free.
It's free. It's such
free.
a beautiful
It's
thing
free.
to witness live and for free.
And for free.
Understand though. Let me give you the disclaimer. I didn't know. Have juice, have something to eat.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be there a while.
It's a whole day. So with the performance schedule this time, because there is a really large gap.
Oh, good.
At one point. So, people have the option. I'll come in the morning and I'll leave and come back for the awards, or I'll just come in the afternoon because there is a large gap. And I'm just gonna leave it here. That the dedication of these young people. Last competition, we walked in the venue at 8:40 a.m.
Yes.
And did not leave that venue until 9:30 p.m. And these children that danced in the morning as well as the evening stayed in that venue all day long. They didn't complain. They didn't moan. We made sure that they did have what they needed, something to eat, something to drink, some fruit or whatever. But that's the children that are being molded and formed from the greatness of the community dance.
It was beautiful to watch because I said, okay, Chris, I'm out. She was like, Mama, you said, no, baby, I'm going home. I need to go get rest. And I said, and I need my mom time, right? They don't understand. That's not. But she said, okay, you can leave on one thing. I was like, what? She said, I need $10. Cash at me. I said, but y'all have food. She said, no, we are a community. So what if we need juice? She said, so just cash at me.
And they share.
So I
They share.
cashed out the 20 because the little girl, one of the little girls, I don't know who she was. She was like, I didn't get any money. So Christina looked at me. Well, my mom, I said $10 for me. This is my friend.
See?
And I said, fine. And I sent the cash out. And she looked at me and she kissed me because she don't like to show affection. So she hugged me real tight. And then she grabbed her and said, we got $20, girl. We
Let's
go.
go. Amen. Amen.
To
Amen.
spend at the Wawa.
The Wawa, there was a food truck outside that was quite good. So yeah, awesome.
But
Yeah,
the
but
thing
there's a lot
is, you are bringing forth their own little personal community.
correct. Some of the best friends are made in in groups like that. Dance. It's so nice to see the friendships that have been formed since these children have been dancing and spending so much time together. Birthday parties they go to with each other, and I could go, like you said, I could go on and on and on. Lastly, y'all, to the whole community, Healthy Kids Day is a free community event
Okay.
that the YMCA does. It is April 27th, 10 to 2. It's free. And there's a ton of vendors that offer resources
Mhm.
for the community, as well as we're having a trackless train, we have a DJ, we have a rock wall, we have an obstacle course, all free. So again, you can get all this information on our website, as well as Beanie said, come and see us. We're at 431 Pennington Avenue, Trenton.
It's a lot going on. Lastly, you have a wonderful recital, and that is
June 22nd, 2 p.m. at the infamous Patriots Theater.
and I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing. And let me tell y'all something. She's not playing. When she tell you 2:00, the only reason it might start late is the lights don't work. She say 2:05, you might miss some of the first dance.
Absolutely.
That she doesn't play with that. I almost miss Cam. I almost miss my baby because I'm notorious for not being on time.
But
You see, you beat me here, and I came straight from work.
yeah.
But Renee,
Thank you
again,
so much, baby. I love you so much.
I love you, and I love what you're doing. And I told you, I loved it before my babies were involved. Because I loved it, I wanted them involved. I wanted them involved. I couldn't think of no other dance community. They's like, I want to do dance. Oh, you're gonna go to the Y. And they were like, no, you're gonna go to the Y. And then somebody else was like, no, try here, try there. I was like, no, you're gonna go to the Y. And then Aaliyah was like, well, Bree, go to the Y. I was like, yes, that's where you're going. And Renee, I told you, Ebony's not used to it, so she's growing in this. And she said to me at the end of the year, the Y was the best choice.
Amen.
The Y was the best choice. There's other choices, but the Y was the best choice. And let me tell you why. You didn't hold punches with Aaliyah. And you let her know if you're going to be lazy, you're not going to make it. She chose to be lazy. See, I'm not just praising you because Christina's doing well or Cam is doing well. I'm also praising you because you were real with my oldest. You let her know you can't be lazy here. You're not going to pick and choose. If you want to be on the competition team, you need to show me something during dance class before I will even allow you to try out for the competition team. She chose to be lazy and quit. You did not beg her to come back. But guess what? Watching her sisters, guess who's taking track series? Guess who's now wanting to go to the field and run? Guess who's now putting effort in her track? Because Renee didn't hold any punches and wouldn't allow her to dance for her, please. Where other squads would have took their money. Renee told her, no. That made me love you that much more. That made me love you that much more. So forever, I don't care if I ever move, you will always see my money. Because I just believe in it. I believe in what you guys do. I believe in how you are stern enough to shape their lives later. You didn't know what that no was going to do for that girl. And you didn't know what your yes was going to do for same-sex girl. It's watching her sisters commit that she's now committing to try in school. So don't ever take this for bait that people don't see, people don't recognize. Yeah, you need to be Abby. You gotta be stern and tough. You don't gotta cuss at them like that. And you don't, but you're very stern. Absolutely love you. Give them the information to the Y again while I go on the other side.
Our website is Capital CAPITAL YMCA.org. You can click on donate and it'll give you so many options of where you can donate for the Y. So it doesn't necessarily have to be dance. We would appreciate it so much, but there's so many options. And then please check out their website for the schedule for this upcoming weekend. I appreciate y'all. Community supports community.
Kevin said, I love the interview, y'all. Hey, yours keeping. Wait a minute, I'm going back in the room with them. Hey.
Hey, I just want to let you know, as tired as I am, I just sat in my truck and listened to the back half of that interview, and you guys did an amazing job. And I don't know if you can hear me now, but just let her know that I personally appreciate her and love her because she backs up what I tell them at the house. If you're not going to work at it, if you don't want to work at it, then look, don't waste my money and don't waste my time. And she holds by that. And one thing I will say, Christina knows that, and that's why Christina takes it so serious. So I personally appreciate her so much because unfortunately, I don't like saying this, but they don't have the drive from their mom for sports. They only have me.